All right. Would you find having a digital textbook easier to work with in class?
I would, because it's just a lot more information and it's easier. Well, it's the same information obviously, but it's easier to carry and it's less heavy. It's lighter, so it's easier to carry and it's easier to transport. And I think it would be much easier to carry one laptop than it would be to carry 4 textbooks.
Do you have your own computer you bring into school?
I have my computer, but I don't bring it to school now because there's no Wi-Fi.
Okay. What happens if there was Wi-Fi offered to you?
Then I would bring my laptop to school and I would use it in class.
Do you think your family would support that?
I think they would.
If you were to bring your own device into school and your own computer, do you feel as though you'd be distracted by it?
I don't think it would distract me. I mean, I think you could be distracted by the whole social media aspect of things, but I think that after a while, or even at the beginning, people would just they wouldn't really be worried about that, and they just realize that there's not much you can do there except talk to each other. So you might as well just learn and actually educate yourself.
Do you feel by having it then, is what you're saying, it might lose its luster?
I do think so. I think that maybe at the beginning people would be on Facebook and Twitter, but after a while, there's only so much you can tweet during school, so you might as well. And people's grades might drop, so then they'd be worried about that, and they'd actually care more about their education.
Do you feel like people would respect technology in the building differently, though, if it was an offering?
I think if it is offered, people will respect it more because people will bring in their own devices and they'll actually have to learn about how to register them and more about the internet and how it works, and then people would actually care more and respect it more.
Very simply, I don't think that people understand that the reason why we're putting up the Wi-Fi is for a BYOD program. I think that I believe that students are under the impression that the Wi-Fi is going up just to say there's Wi-Fi. So there should be education of the BYOD program of how we're going to have the Wi-Fi's open for students to bring their own device in, so that way they register it, or however way we're going to do that, and then so that way they can use it for their benefit in classes, and so that way they can interact more with their peers.
When does that education need to start?
As soon as possible, because I'm in a class where I'm in the class where they hand out iPads, and I feel like that distribution has drastically helped us in sharing with our groups, our projects, our ideas in class, sitting there discussing, writing things down. If you forgot something, you didn't catch something, you weren't there that day, you share it with your entire group. You can help each other out. What my science teacher, he shares out all the PowerPoints and all the projects and all the videos he shows us. He shares them onto our Google Docs. We can go home, at home, we can look at the PowerPoint. He also gives us a printout, but sometimes the printouts are too small because he comes out and he puts 3 slides on a page, and if he puts those slides, they're going to be way too small to read them. So sharing the PowerPoints with us helps us to see those. So it needs to start as soon as we can get those going, because it's going to pick up pace quickly.
You're one of the very few students who is already on the Wi-Fi school-wide. You have an iPad on the Wi-Fi, you have your iPhone, which gets wireless cell service and also Wi-Fi school-wide. You're connected for 100% of the school day, and you have 5 classes per day. Most parents, most teachers, most school administrators, most of the world thinks you will spend that time camping out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And frankly, some students might. Why shouldn't we be concerned about that? Why is that a non-issue, or is it not a non-issue?
I don't think it's an issue at all. If you have students, class, all on the internet and having their device, and they can have access to Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, like you said, even though that they can have access to it. But if you have a whole class on a topic, and you have, like you said, that you're always going to have that 1 or 2 students, that they're just off on their own on their social media, it's not like they're benefiting themselves by doing that, and they're just going to be left out, and not on purpose, but they're just going to be so out of the loop because everyone's going to be with each other, contemplating ideas and discussing things over their their connectivity, like we said with the Google Docs or however you're going to do that, and they're just going to be off on their own. It's not going to work out. I personally don't go on Facebook at all the entire day actually, and like you said, I do have internet connectivity the entire time, 100% I'm in school. But I've never actually went on any of that during school, which I actually am surprised by. But you see, once you're in the school and you see the way you're using it, I use it. I have a Google Docs app on my iPad where every single one of my classes, I take out my iPad, teacher's talking, I take notes on that. I am one of the people where I still have my notes from my freshman year biology class because I don't know when it's going to come in handy sometime. So in my room, I have a drawer full of just notes that I don't know when's going to come in handy that I don't want to throw out because who knows, maybe one day I'm going to do something where I'm going to need to remember or refresh or something. So that's why I feel like if I have, with my iPad now, I haven't had to throw out anything because I have everything just in one neat little place. And it also works out great because now instead of having a backpack full of things, binders, notebooks, pens, everything, I have this neat little iPad and one single notebook for a class where I need to write stuff in, and everything works out nicely. Because once I got an idea of what I can do with this, the possibilities pushed me forward are so much better than just being on social media. But then you get the fact where that's enough, but you're going to get those students where they just don't care. And that's not, whether or not that you have them on the Wi-Fi, they're going to use their own data plans and go on their own Wi-Fi. And they're going to go on Facebook on their own. They're not going to pay attention in class with or without it.
You open the internet up to your district and you say, here's the internet, use it to whatever you want. I think no matter what happens, you're gonna have the kids who benefit a lot. And there's kids who will learn more from the internet and learn more from listening to a discussion and searching a question they have, than personally asking the question. Because personally, I have a lot of things going on, rattle around in my head. And sometimes I can't put that in words. Sometimes I type this on the internet and it comes up. It magically just pops up. And for kids like me who can just can answer things like that, and the internet can do that, it helps my learning environment and my learning style majorly. So I've seen the special ed side of technology and how it can benefit me. 2 years ago, I used a system called Kurzweil that changed everything I learned. It opened the floodgates for me, because I went from Kurzweil didn't work out for me, but then I got an AlphaSmart, which was a device that just let me type everything, because I had a ton of thoughts in my head, but I couldn't get them down on paper, so I typed them. It was a rattle. It was total thought process. It made absolutely no sense to no one else but myself. But by doing that, by introducing that one Kurzweil operating software, it opened the floodgates to getting an AlphaSmart, to then integrating using my MacBook computer in school during my sophomore and junior year, to now having an iPad in class and having the ability to type anything I need at any time, no matter how obnoxious the thought is or how intriguing the thought is. Having the ability to just put it on a device and get it out of my head has just improved my grades, my learning, and my personality.